And this is something we need to be watching closely. Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall pick in 2018. He had his 5th-year option exercised a few months ago, but now we turn our attention to the potential long-term extension. This exactly is the moment on the calendar where they tend to like to do that, right before training camp. Well, Mayfield's agent, Jack Mills, was on ESPN 850 in Cleveland saying, we're not going to be dragging it out. I think there's been enough contracts done for quarterbacks lately to give us a pretty good idea of what the market is. But I think something will be done this summer as far as trying to get a deal done. I don't know if it'll get done. It's something that will be pretty much in the team's control. So he's saying he wants to do it, and he's talking about the precedent that has been set by a bunch of really big contracts. I'm thinking of Dak Prescott and some of the others. So Kimberly Martin, what is your sense? Should we be expecting one of these days to be opening the show today by saying Baker Mayfield has now become, one of the 5 highest paid players in the NFL, signing a huge extension with Cleveland?
One of these days, potentially. The Browns want to lock him up. But it's funny, Greeny, when I talk to people around the league, they tell me it's the Baltimore Ravens who should be really aggressive about signing Lamar Jackson, as opposed to the Cleveland Browns jumping to sign Baker Mayfield long term. Now, the Browns have made it clear they love Baker, they do want to extend him. The question is when. We expect this will get done, but the Browns also have other guys to sign long terms, like a Nick Chubb, a Wyatt Teller, Denzel. Like, they have other guys who have long-term situations that they have to be mindful of. And Baker's has the 5th-year option. So the Browns, they love him, but they do also have time.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything this offseason if they don't choose to. But for obvious reasons, the agent wants to get it done. So let me ask my 2 players here. Swag, we'll start with you. As to you, I'm hitching my horse to my wagon to that, well, whatever it is you hitch to whatever. He's going to be my quarterback for the next 10 years. Done. I'm signing him right now. Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't sign him right now. I'll wait another year, G. His first year under Kevin Stefanski was phenomenal, and they did a phenomenal job, and he looks like the guy that's the perfect fit for this offense. But I got to see it done again. And it's because of Baker and how it started out, and unfortunately for him, going through different coaches in different situations. But when you look at this team and when you look at the success of the Cleveland Browns, the whole is definitely greater than the one or the few, right? And I understand that you want to get your franchise quarterback locked in, but to Kimberly's point, there's a lot of contracts that's going to have to get done. Andrew Berry has his work. The general manager for the Cleveland Browns has his work cut out for him. It's a good problem because you have so much young talent. But also remember, Myles Garrett just got a $100 million deal. And I get it, that all of this stuff shouldn't affect your starting quarterback. But I just don't believe that Baker right now commands the type of money that you would have to pay for a quarterback in order to alienate other people from your team, and not in a bad way. But this is one of those particular situations where you truly have to ask yourself, is our quarterback lifting the play of everybody around him, or is he a product of the guys that we have around him? And then you make a decision from there. And based on that thought process, for me, I'd wait another year because I have him under cheap money and I got a lot of other good players, and we could actually make a run at the Super Bowl this year in particular.
Absolutely. Rob Ninkovich, same question. Have you seen enough?
No, I haven't seen enough. Listen, when you look at quarterback QBR on strictly drop back passing, Baker is 20th. And okay, play action pass, he's 2nd. But what does that mean? That means play action pass, setting up the run, running the football, that's what they do. It's not his fault. They have a great running game. But for me to spend $30+ million a year on a quarterback, and we've seen what these quarterbacks are making and what the new contracts are going to be, they're going to be in excess of $40 million a year. You don't rush into that type of money decision-wise. You don't just rush into that. Let's pay him top dollar. No. I want to see him progress a little bit more. I want to see him drop back in the pocket, throw some accurate passes, be a all-around great quarterback, and then I'll give you the money. Because right now, I just still think that he has to grow as a player, and I want to see him be accurate pocket.
We have a lot of news to get to today involving quarterbacks. We'll get to Tom Brady later. We start with Aaron Rodgers, of course, who remains engaged in this very public standoff with the Packers. His number 1 wide receiver, Davante Adams, close friend, has had some comments in the last few days. Here are the most recent ones talking about the Rodgers holdout. He said, honestly, it's not even something that we truly talk about like that. It's just everybody's been dialed into what they got to do. I think everybody's mindset, everybody's going to love Aaron the same way when he returns. And obviously, it's been a little bit of a confusing situation, but there hasn't been any negative talk or anything like that. Everybody's behind him. And as I bring the football crew in this morning, Marcus Spears, I think the reason this is coming up is because there are a lot of people wondering, at some point, do his teammates kind of turn on him? Is that something that could potentially happen when training camp begins if he isn't there? Swagoo, how do you read what Davante was saying and the whole situation?
Well, to your point, G, at some point they turn on him, but not in a malicious way. They turn on him because they have to handle their business. They're there. They have to get ready to play a football season, and it involves rallying around Jordan Love if Jordan Love is going to be the guy that they're going to have to go forward with. The bottom line is this, man, and I said this a few weeks ago, G, a couple weeks ago. Like, at some point, these players, they don't give a damn about what Aaron Rodgers is dealing with because they have people to support. They have to not only support their own careers, but they got families that they have to take care of as well. So just as Aaron Rodgers is doing his business and going about it the way he needs to go about it, these players in this locker room for the Green Bay Packers have to start thinking in that way too. So whether you call it turning your back or turning the page, whichever one it is, they better worry about their careers and the things that they need to do to get ready for this season and get concerned about rallying behind Jordan Love. Yeah, love Aaron Rodgers off the field, and he's y'all guy. But when it gets to football and training camp slowly creeping up, it's time to think about the guys that are there in the locker room and on the field with you.
What do you think, Nink?
He's 100% right. And there's a saying in football, don't count others' money. And basically what that means is mind your business. Just mind your business. Worry about what you can do to earn your contract. You earn your own money and you work for your own contract. And there's going to be situations where people are unhappy and they're trying to get a contract done or they're trying to figure out what's going on. And as a player, you just worry about yourself. You're trying to get yourself in the best possible shape, best possible position to win and succeed on the field for yourself, for your family, so you could make your money. So, you know, at the end of the day, every player has to figure out what they want to do, where they're at with their contracts, with their team, their status. But when you start to worry about everyone else and having issues with people that are holding out, then it's going to affect how you play. So everyone needs to just mind their business and try and perform at a high level.
So, Kimberly, I feel like this has taken so many twists. And there was a time, and it wasn't all that long ago, and I think all of us were convinced he was going to get traded. Now I'm completely convinced he isn't going to get traded, certainly not anytime particularly soon. The people that you talk to around the league every single day, what do people expect to happen here?
Oh, people around the league expect him to be in Green Bay. And because at the end of the day, they believe the Packers have the leverage, not Aaron Rodgers. Front office execs say the Packers should hold firm, not trade him because he's so good. And Davante Adams saying when he returns, that to me, he's putting a timeline on it. It is ambiguous, but at the end of the day, the guys aren't worried because they expect Aaron Rodgers to be back in Appleton, this passive-aggressive back and forth between the front office and him. They think it'll end. And so that should give Packers fans a little bit of relief, because if Davante Adams, his best weapon, expects Aaron Rodgers to be there, then the situation may be nearing its end soon.
Exactly. Look, we're at a point now where we're parsing the words that closely, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
We will keep a close eye on this for sure. All right, we're just getting started. This